We have a few minutes before we are going to get into a wrap up, and I'd like Eric to give us his concluding thoughts from the discussion today. And also, Gaurav, before we also end, and after Eric, I'd like you to talk about this, which is what is it that human beings will be doing at large when machines are going to be doing the heavy lifting. That's a very interesting conversation to have. But to be, I'd like Eric to help us conclude this conversation.
Sure. This is a pivotal time in human history. I mean, it sounds
Mhm.
dramatic, but I don't think I'm
Yeah,
exaggerating. Uh, AI, using machines to start making intelligent decisions is something we've just never seen before. And the impact on every part of society is going to be staggering. In particular, businesses are fundamentally being transformed. Um, but the thing to emphasize is that it's not the technology per se that makes the difference, it's the
yeah,
way they're implemented. My research has shown that it often takes years, even decades, for even remarkable technologies like electricity, the steam engine, early computers to translate into business value. And I think what is often missing is this idea that we just buy the technology or we just magically it turns into value for
yeah,
customers. What's really needed is a lot of hard work to understand where the opportunities are, where the implications are. My company, WorkHelix, tries to do that. I know that Infinite Analytics is very down into the nuts and bolts of figuring out how to get real business value. And data is the key to that. It unlocks the opportunities for the specific ways that customers can benefit, and some customers don't benefit. You have to know which is which. One of the things that's been frustrating to me is just all the hype and noise about how
yeah.
AI can do everything, and companies are wasting, frankly, millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars on stuff that doesn't work because they don't have the data to understand where the value is. Um, Looking more to the future, like you asked about, I continue to see this transformation rolling, but it's going to be more and more figuring out how to implement it and how it changes business and not
Yeah.
just the technology per se. And I think that for a long time, it's going to continue to be humans and machines working together. There's this long tail of tasks that machine learning can't help with because there just isn't the data to do it. And then there's a lot of other tasks where the data is available, but that leads to a natural division of labor. And so figuring out how you can use the data where it exists and also have humans use their judgment where the data doesn't exist is the key to unlocking a lot of business value. I'm just astonishingly optimistic about productivity and business value in the coming years. I've made a long bet that productivity is going to be much higher than the Congressional Budget Office and some of my colleagues are projecting because I see what's happening on the ground. I'm working with people like Puru and Akash and just see the amazing capabilities. And it's only a matter of time before more and more companies start tapping into that and getting that kind of value.
Thank you, Eric. And I think you made a very valuable point here is that, AI is not a magic fix. And that's what that there is. And as we continue to work with partners, BFSI partners in our country, we kind of make this value statement that we are not going to be a vendor. We want to be a value partner. And this is not going to
Right.
be an overnight fix. This is going to take time and mutual coordinated efforts. So thank you for that. And concluding thoughts from Gaurav.
So humans are not a biological species. We're already a techno-biology culture mix, where the fact that I'm using words that we have not negotiated and you understand what I'm saying is because we have a cultural communication method which allows us to talk, which is also a type of technology. Some technology we internalize because I have a voice box that allows me to speak, and you have ears that allow you to hear this particular range of sound. Some technology we embed into our culture. For example, this conversation, the fact that the car allows us to build cities in a particular way, and so on and so forth. So there's some that we've internalized into our biology, but that moves at one mutation every 40,000 years. There's some which we bake into our culture. And that's how we absorb the technology. The challenge, like Professor was saying, is that some changes that used to take 50 years to embed into the society now need to happen overnight because you went off to sleep with one Tesla car and you woke up with a whole different operating system in your car. And so being able to adjust to technology, the response has to be a cultural response. We are going to absorb all that intelligence that's being created because we've always been able to do that. It just takes time to understand the meaning of all this new technology and absorb that into our culture. And then, like the professor said, I'm extremely optimistic about the future simply because I think this allows us to do more, and be more in harmony with nature. I think the core challenge that we face is all this power that we have from the industrial revolution gives us a sense that we can control nature, and instead, if we are a little more surrendered, we'll be able to understand that we have to become one with nature, in harmony with nature, and not seek to destroy all this amazing power that we're going to build with technology. Needs to be in harmony with our inner and external nature, not merely as an individual species. All that will come, I feel. We will absorb all that technology and become a far better citizen of this ecosystem that we live in.
Thank you, Gaurav.